Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to Deep Dive into Meska's blog.
Fridays are for Meska.
That's right. You know how we do it here?
New deep dive every Friday.
And we are diving deep today.
Into the Sinn des Lebens, the meaning of life.
Yeah, the meaning of life from 2015. This one is from way back.
This is a classic Meska post.
I think everyone thinks about this at some point in their life.
Oh, absolutely.
What is the meaning of life?
Yeah, it's a question for the ages.
It really is.
You know what I like about this one?
What's that?
Is that he goes out and he asks people.
He asks them, what do you think the meaning of life is?
Yeah, like a man on the street kind of thing.
It's really cool.
It is.
But even that was intimidating for him.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about his struggles with social anxiety.
He was really nervous to approach people.
I can imagine.
Especially with a question like that.
Like, excuse me, sir, ma'am.
No.
Do you have a moment to talk about the meaning of life?
You're going to get some weird looks. But he pushed himself out of his comfort zone.
And it kind of makes you think.
What do you mean?
Well, like, he had to overcome this big thing.
Yeah.
This personal hurdle.
It's just fear.
Yeah, to even, like, explore this question.
Right. And for him, it's almost like a metaphor, right?
Oh.
For, like, life itself, you know?
Oh, I see.
You got to put yourself out of your comfort zone to really grow and experience things.
That's a good point.
So it makes his insights even more, you know.
More powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
But, okay, let's get into what people actually said.
Right. Because we could talk about Meska's journey.
Forever.
What
did people say?
He got so many different responses.
Fill us in.
Some were really profound and some were very practical.
Give me examples.
Okay. So one person said,
Okay.
you have a canvas. You can paint a beautiful or a crappy picture. You have to earn the pencils.
Ooh.
Right.
Deep.
That's a good one.
What else?
Someone else said, the meaning is to live only no one told you how.
Ah.
Isn't that great?
That's a good one.
Some people kept it simple. Life is God.
Okay.
Wealth, power, and health.
Interesting.
A lot of people said family. That's a common one, right?
Yeah.
But then someone said love, and it's so much more.
Oh.
So they expanded on it.
Yeah.
Then you have the more cynical responses. Get up, eat, drink, work, sleep, and start all over again.
I feel that.
Right. Some days.
And then my favorite.
Hit me.
The meaning of life is to answer exactly this question.
Oh, wow.
So meta.
It is very meta. But you know what's interesting? A lot of these answers,
Yeah.
they revolve around this idea of happiness.
Okay.
Like being happy is the meaning of life.
That makes sense.
But then it makes you think,
Wow.
well, what is happiness really? Like,
Mm.
how do we define that?
It's kind of like love or
Yeah.
beauty.
It's subjective.
It is.
Everyone has their own definition.
Exactly.
And Meska actually talks about this.
What does he say?
He compares happiness and love to belief.
Belief.
Yeah. He says they're all these words that we use to describe
Yeah.
feelings and experiences,
Yeah.
but they're hard to articulate.
I see what you're saying.
Like, we know what they mean,
Right.
but to put it into words,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's tough.
So how does belief fit into all this?
Well, Meska talks about his own experience with depression
Oh, right.
and how he started taking medication.
Yeah.
And at first, he wasn't sure if it would work.
Did it help?
He said it did.
Okay.
But what's interesting is that even after he stopped taking the medication, he continued to feel better because he believed he would.
So he was like, I'm going to keep feeling better even without the meds.
Exactly. And it worked for him.
That's wild.
It is.
So belief can be really powerful.
That's what he's saying.
It can shape our reality.
Yeah, in a way.
It's interesting.
And it makes you think,
About what?
like, what are we choosing to believe?
That is a good question.
Because he also talks about the people he met in a psychiatric clinic.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all dealing with different things.
Cork.
But what they seemed to have in common was this loss of faith
And why?
in themselves.
Oh, that's sad.
It is. And Meska realized
Right.
that he used to be just like them.
Really?
Stuck in his own head, letting fear and doubt control him.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he had this realization.
Like an epiphany.
Exactly. He said, I'm just getting in my own way.
Whoa.
Right.
That's powerful.
It is, and it's so simple, but so true.
It really is.
Like, we create our own obstacles sometimes.
By getting in our own way.
Yeah, by not believing in ourselves.
By letting fear hold us back.
Exactly.
That's heavy stuff.
It is, but it's also empowering in a way.
How so?
Because it means we have the power to change things.
By changing our beliefs.
Exactly. It's about choosing to believe in something better.
Something that gives us hope.
Right. And that brings us back to those answers about happiness and love. Maybe it's not about defining them perfectly, but about choosing to believe in them.
To trust that they exist.
Exactly, and that we can experience them.
And that's what gives life meaning.
That's what Meska seems to be saying.
I like that.
It's a nice thought.
It is. It's
Yeah.
like we have more control than we realize.
Yeah.
Like we can choose our beliefs. And in doing so, we choose our own path.
It's about taking ownership of our own lives.
And finding our own meaning.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's pretty cool, huh?
It is.
It's a good reminder that we're not just passive passengers.
We're active participants.
Yeah, we have agency.
We can choose what to believe in.
And that choice shapes our reality.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
And it all started with Meska asking people about the meaning of life.
Yeah, he just wanted to know what other people thought.
And he ended up discovering something profound.
About himself.
And about the power of belief.
Exactly.
This is a good one.
It is.
It's making me think
Me too.
about my own beliefs.
What do you believe in?
That's a good question.
Maybe we should all ask ourselves that.
Yeah, maybe we should.
It's Friday after all.
Time for some deep thinking.
Exactly. And it's not all sunshine and roses with Meska.
What do you mean?
He actually talks about his time in a psychiatric clinic.
He does.
Yeah, he's really open about it.
I mean, that's got to be hard to share.
It takes a lot of courage.
Especially when you're talking about finding meaning and happiness.
Right. You'd think he'd want to gloss over that part.
Like, just focus on the positive?
Exactly, but he doesn't.
He puts it all out there.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this post so powerful.
It's real.
It's coming from a place of experience.
Not just theory.
Exactly. Like, he's not saying believing will solve all your problems.
Right.
But it can help you deal with them.
To cope.
Yeah, and to find strength.
Keep going.
Exactly.
It's a hopeful message.
It is, especially for anyone who's struggling.
With their own sense of purpose.
Or feeling lost. Like Meska saying, look, I've been through some tough times.
But you came out the other side.
And you can too.
It's about believing that things can get better.
And that belief can make all the difference.
It's inspiring.
It is.
And remember what he said about the people he met in the clinic?
Oh, yeah. They were all dealing with their own challenges.
But they had something in common.
They did. They all seemed to have lost faith.
In themselves.
Yeah, they felt hopeless.
And Meska realized he used to be just like them.
Stuck in his own head.
Letting fear control him.
And then he had this epiphany.
Tell me about it.
He said, I'm just getting in my own way.
Wow. So simple, but so true.
We are often our own worst enemies.
We hold ourselves back.
With our own thoughts and beliefs.
And it's not about blaming ourselves.
No, it's about recognizing that we have the power to change.
To choose a different path.
To believe in something better.
To stop getting in our own way.
Exactly.
So we've talked about Meska's journey.
His experience in the clinic.
His conclusion that belief is his meaning of life.
But what does this all mean for us?
Yeah, how do we apply this to our own lives?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is belief is a big concept.
Where do we even start?
I don't know, maybe with some self-reflection.
Like asking ourselves, what do we truly believe in?
What gives us a sense of purpose?
What makes us feel hopeful?
Yeah, those are good questions.
And maybe it's not about finding the one right answer.
Maybe there isn't one.
Maybe it's about identifying the smaller beliefs.
The ones that guide us every day.
Exactly, like believing in the power of kindness.
Or trusting in our own abilities.
It doesn't have to be this big philosophical thing.
It's about finding what resonates with you personally.
And maybe that's the beauty of Meska's conclusion.
What do you mean?
It's not about finding the universal meaning of life.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that meaning is something we create.
Through our own beliefs.
Exactly. It's about taking ownership of our own lives.
Yeah, our own sense of purpose.
It's about choosing what to believe in.
And letting those beliefs guide us.
Yeah, and it's a journey, not a destination.
Our beliefs will change over time.
As we grow and learn and experience new things.
What matters is that we keep exploring.
And keep believing in something.
Something that gives us hope.
And motivates us to live our best lives.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's funny we started talking about existential dread.
Right.
But I actually feel hopeful now.
You?
After this deep dive.
It's like if just choosing to believe in something can be so powerful, that's pretty amazing.
It is. And you know what else?
Right.
Meska says he's at a low point in his life when he wrote this.
Oh, yeah, he does mention that.
And yet he still comes to this conclusion.
About belief.
Yeah. It's like...
It's kind of remarkable.
It is. He could have easily been like, what's the point?
Given up.
Yeah, exactly.
But he didn't.
He chose to believe that things would get better.
And that belief seems to be helping him.
It's giving him strength.
To keep going.
Yeah. Even in the midst of hardship.
We can choose hope.
And that hope can change things.
It can make a difference.
Maybe by believing in something positive,
Yeah.
we can create a reality that reflects that belief.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. If we believe things will get better,
We're more likely to take action.
to make choices that support that belief.
And ultimately create a more positive outcome.
It all comes back to choice.
It does.
And remember all those people Meska talked to.
The ones he interviewed.
Yeah, they talked about love, happiness, family.
Maybe those aren't just random concepts.
But reflections of their beliefs,
The things they've chosen to believe in.
the things that give their lives meaning.
Exactly.
So it's not about finding the right answer to the meaning of life.
Yeah.
It's about finding what resonates with you
What gives you purpose?
and then believing in it
Wholeheartedly.
with everything you've got.
And as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I keep thinking about that Oscar Wilde quote.
The one at the end of the post.
Everything will be fine in the end. If it's not fine, it's not the end.
I love that quote.
Me too. It's perfect.
It really captures the spirit of this whole conversation.
It's a reminder that even when things are tough,
Yeah.
there's always hope.
Always
And sometimes believing that things will work out
is the first step.
to making them work out.
So to all our listeners out there,
Happy Friday.
think about what you believe in.
What gives your life meaning?
And remember,
It's okay if you don't have all the answers.
the journey is just as important as the destination.
Keep exploring
Keep questioning.
and keep believing.
We'll see you next Friday for another deep dive into Meska's blog.